Welcome everybody. Happy Monday. Hello Christine. She says happy Monday, Jackie and Tribe. Thanks for saying hello everyone. Jackie says, greetings lovely Jackie and friends. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's trine. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's trine, Jackie. We'll talk all about that, so that's great. Jeannie, good morning. Violet, good morning from New York. Good morning, Yvonne. Good morning, another Jackie. Hi, Rhonda. Good morning. Hello, Margot. So happy to be here. Likewise, all day, every day. So happy to be wherever I am. Nick, good afternoon. You're from the UK, right, Nick? If you are new to me, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I'm joining you from Northern Illinois, and today we're going to talk about astrology, and then we're going to pull a bunch of oracle cards to see how to best utilize what's happening in the skies. From Wales. Very cool. Very cool, very cool. How was everyone's 777 portal? That was just on Friday. And we have access to the 777 portal 3 times this month. So on July 7th, again on the 16th, and then again on the 25th. And there's a part of me that feels like the 7th was like the opening, and it's going to be open until the 25th. And it's like the 16th is kind of like our midway point to check in and see if we're using it the way that we want to use it, I guess. Hello, Lori. Hello, Helen. Nick has some awesomeness, clarity, passion, and determination. I love that. That's great. Good morning, Carrie. Nice to see you. So if you did not see my Insight Timer live on Friday, you can search my name on YouTube, and I put all of my replays on my YouTube channel. And I encourage you guys to watch that replay as we move through these multiple 777 portals. Something about the number 7 is just like so magical. So why not take full advantage of it? You know? Hi, Susie. Good morning, Kirby. Hello, Bonnie. Yeah, just wondering if any magic was unlocked for you guys over the weekend. Because I'm feeling it already. Based on my own personal card pulls and stuff, I created a new habit that I've done for 3 days so far, and it's great so far. I'll tell you guys about it. So Friday was the 777 portal, and I was describing how like we have this energy of the 7, this introspection, solitude, inner wisdom, magical, angelic energy unlocking. And it built until yesterday. I mean, it's still building, right? If you feel the 7s, then it's there. But I saw it building until yesterday when Mercury and Neptune formed a trine, which is what Jackie was asking about when she first got here. So Mercury is our planet of thoughts, and Neptune is the planet of dreams. So a trine is a harmonious aspect. It's like a high five or a thumbs up across the sky, the 2 planets. And the way that I saw this was like, okay, here's the 777 portal. We have the access to magic. What is it that I want? And I felt like these ideas would build. And then yesterday, when the trine became exact, it might have been like, whoa, it is that easy to create magic in my life. Whoa, I do kind of already have the life of my dreams. How do I do more of that? Like, how do I bring more of that in? And I love that yesterday we had Mercury trine Neptune, and now today, in a little bit, Mercury is going to form an opposition to Pluto, which is like the totally opposite energy, but that's why I love astrology so much, because you get to choose how to use the transits. Mercury opposite Pluto, to some people, can be like a nail biter. Like, oh my gosh, your thoughts are coming head to head with destruction. This could be the end of your world. I kind of see it as a time to confront what is ready to be released, to be transmuted, so that you can tune into this Mercury trine Neptune life of your dreams. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much, Nick, for your donation. Very much appreciated. Christine loves the colorful t-shirt. Thank you. This one's actually been in hiding for a while. We redid our closet, so a lot of my clothes were packed up, and now I'm like cycling through my old clothes again, so it's fun. Chantel, I've been feeling angry, irritated, and lethargic, but aware that I need more me time. Chantel, I feel like you are in my mind. I feel the same. I've been more on edge lately. I've been more like triggered by things. Like something will happen and I get pissed, and I'm like sitting here thinking to myself, like, why did that piss me off so much? Why am I so quick to anger about little things like that? And aware that I need more me time. Yeah, I agree, Chantel, right there with you. Susie, I'm changing a lot of things. Love it, love it. Allison, reconfronting, burning off what is not serving me. On point, reconfronting and burning off what is not serving me. Yeah, that opposition will become exact later today. Mercury opposite Pluto. Yeah, Pluto's the destroyer. Pluto exposes the stuff that we don't want to see, but we have to see it in order to process it, in order to transform and empower what is meant to stay. So this is like coming head on to your thoughts right now. So again, it's all about how you take it in, how you decide to utilize the energy that is available. You know, you could do the Jacqui method and look at everything with rose-colored glasses, or you could do Jackie's husband's method and look at everything realistically. That was just a joke. So I told you guys that I had this new habit that is serving me very well. And this is something that's been like, parts have been dropped into my awareness of this throughout the year, honestly. So this kind of started when I finished reading The Law of Attraction by Abraham Hicks. I finished that like within the first few days of this year. And in the book, they talked about doing this thing called a workshop. And in the workshop for the Law of Attraction, they recommended to go into a meditative state and visualize the life of your dreams for 20 minutes. And that sounds great. I can definitely see how that is useful, but it just didn't sit right. It didn't feel like the right thing to do for me to sit and close my eyes and visualize. So I just kind of like left it in the back of my mind. And then I'm going to use you as an example, Bonnie. So Bonnie and I had been talking, and I guess I kind of like forgot that this started, but I just mentioned like, oh, literally write down what you want. Ask the universe for what you want on paper. And Bonnie's been using it, and it's been working magic. If you want to give us details in the chat, I'm going to let you do that. Bonnie has recommended that her kids use this method, and it's been working magic. And so after the 777 portal, I pulled my own oracle card from the Animal Apothecary deck, and it was all about discipline. And it just clicked in my head, and I was like, oh my gosh. Because all this stuff that I've been stressed out about, I talked to Bonnie and I'm like, I know, I just need to be sitting down and writing out what I want. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to do, but I can't make the time for it. And I kept like going back into that victim mode of, I don't have the time. I don't have that, whatever. So then I pulled this card, and it's all about like discipline. And if you discipline yourself, even on the days that you don't want to do it, like you're going to get the results. So I've only done it for the last 3 days, but I'm intending on doing this for the near future, as long as I need to. But I'm setting a timer for 20 minutes, and I'm handwriting my life as if I'm living the life of my dreams. And I'm like telling the story of what I truly want. And the first day was a little awkward. It kind of felt like I was making it up. The second day got a little bit easier. And then today it was like I'm already channeling my future self. Like I would be writing about one thing and an idea would pop up, and then for some reason today I started writing about a trip to Australia that I took, and it was like I knew exactly what had happened, and I was like writing out exact details and stuff. It was pretty bizarre. But that's my thing. So with this Mercury trine Neptune from yesterday, the life of our dreams is positively influencing our thoughts and our communication style. So writing out exactly how I know that my life is going to look in one time, it's so deep, but that's what I'm doing, and I wonder if you guys can utilize it as well. Scripting, Violet, yeah, It's all the same. You can do it in your mind or you can do it on paper. Nancy, the book was just called The Law of Attraction, and it's by Abraham Hicks. The whole book is like a question and answer session of channeling, and it's pretty cool. Bonnie says, yes, I'm writing in the present tense specifically what I want. It is worked down to the detail for finding my new home, selling my current home, finding folks for some stuff we're giving away. My daughter and son have also experienced this in everyday stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm glad that you took it and ran with it, because it was like poking at me. Like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And like, my days have been so busy where 20 minutes felt like, oh, where am I ever going to find that time? And I've been finding it because I want to find it. Yeah, Christine, I'm actually writing some of it in like past tense. Like, oh, remember when I did that and that was great? And I remember when I really, like, when I got this house and I was really excited for this part of the house and this part of the house. And I'm almost writing it as if it already happened. But whatever feels intuitive for you, you know, my intention going into it was to kind of do what Bonnie's been doing and like writing what you want as if you have it and then it turned into like future tense, and it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Nick said, I kept needing space from people, noise, situations, feeling closed in and not being able to breathe. 3 days ago, it dawned on me to create a vast meadow and woods within me, so I always have the space I need within me. That's perfect, Nick. That's lovely. Beautiful, beautiful. Hermeticism. So I have a book on Hermetic principles that I was drawn to a while ago, and I haven't opened it yet, but that's interesting. Interesting. I love it. A lot of you guys are saying that optimistic wife and realistic husband are common for y'all too. That's funny. Okay, so that's my practice. Use it if you want. Even if you like tuck it in the back of your mind and it comes out in 7 months, like what happened with me, like that's totally fine. You don't have to do it right now, you know? So I was talking about these aspects that Mercury has been making, trining Neptune and coming opposite of Pluto. So this is like a time to confront Mercury opposite Pluto, confronting what's ready to be released and transmuted so that you can bring in the life that you desire. So it's interesting to me that Mercury has had so much activity over this weekend right as Mars enters Virgo, because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. So whenever there are transits in the sky, you can look to the planet of rulership, and that'll give us more detail about this upcoming transit. So with Mars entering Virgo, taking a look at Mercury and seeing that he is putting on his rose-colored glasses and confronting his demons, that gives us a little bit of feel to what this Mars in Virgo transit will look like. So Mars has already entered Virgo. He's there today, July 10th, on through August 27th. So about a month and a half of Mars in Virgo. So what you can do is look for where Virgo is in your natal chart. So even if you don't have any planets in Virgo, Virgo is still part of your chart, and there are still houses in your chart that are ruled by Virgo, that encompass Virgo. So you can look for the sign. Virgo is like the M with her legs crossed, not to be confused with Scorpio is the M with the extension outward. Virgo has her legs crossed. So Mars will be energizing this part of your life for the next month and a half. So Mars is our action. Mars represents what we fight for and how we fight for it. He's the god of war. So it just represents like where your energy will most likely be expended over this transiting time. Virgo is the mutable earth sign. So mutable signs are all about closure, wrapping things up, moving things around, making changes. And Virgo is an earth sign, so that has to do with physical things, resources, our physical body, things that we own. So the first thing that came up with Mars in Virgo is physically moving things that you own. This could give you some more ambition to move your physical body, to exercise your physical body, to change something about your physical body. This can give you some energy to change something in your daily routine. This can give you some ambition to change something as far as your health. Like if you've been handling an illness or something for a long time, Mars in Virgo can give you that like fire spark to say, I'm done with this, we're going to make a change. Virgo is the Virgin. She's also the sign of service. So we could feel some ignited passion to serve. When Mars enters, well, Mars has already entered Virgo. So Mars at 0 degrees of Virgo is forming a trine, a harmonious aspect to the North Node, which is now at 0 degrees of Taurus. So Mars trine the North Node. And that also means that Mars is forming a sextile to the South Node at 0 degrees of Scorpio. So the nodes of fate, the South Node and the North Node, they're always 180 degrees apart. It has to do with like our destiny. It's like the fate line, right? The nodes of fate. So Mars's transit through Virgo can be heavily linked to fate and destiny, right? Just that we're being set up with this trine and sextile to the nodes as Mars walks into Virgo. This just feels like it's setting the tone that as we have this ignited passion to serve ourselves, serve others, you know, all in balance, all in harmony. But as we do these actions, it's like our karma will naturally fall away, South Node, and then our destiny will naturally be enhanced. So again, having that, all of that Mercury activity right before or right as Mars moves into Virgo, because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. So we had Mercury trine to Neptune at 27, Cancer and Pisces, and then Mercury is going to be opposite to Pluto at 29 of Cancer and Capricorn, so just stick with me. The two aspects are happening at 27 and 29, and when Mars entered Virgo, Mercury was at 28. So it was like we had a really positive aspect, then we had Mars enter Virgo, and then we're going to have a little bit more challenging aspect. So it was just interesting that it happened like right on the midpoint. So we have this aspect with Neptune, our dreams, and then the Mercury aspect with Pluto representing transformation. Right in the middle, we have Mars entering Virgo. So Mars is asking us to focus your energy on transforming your reality. This is a really great time to focus all of your ambition, all of your passion, using that Mars energy to turn your reality into the reality of your dreams. You know, in order to do that, you sometimes have to let go of some stuff that's comfortable. It's difficult. It can be physical things, it can be beliefs, you know, like you gotta let go. Pluto, you gotta let go in order to bring in all the Neptunian stuff. And with the positive aspects to the nodes of fate, like this is your moment to shine. I feel like we have such... I've been using this term a lot this year, but like the universe has given us that alley-oop. It's like setting us up and all we have to do is dunk it. It's your choice. Like you can jump up for the dunk or you can turn around and run away if you're scared, you know? But like this is your opportunity to prove to yourself that you have the that you have the ability to make your wildest dreams come true. It's crazy how real it is the more you choose to believe it. And even saying it sometimes, like I feel like I'm lying to myself, but I know I'm not, you know? It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. One last thing about the sky right now, there's no air. Nothing is in an air sign right now. So we have no logic. I see that sometimes as like sabotage, like the mental energy can sabotage what's happening. There are no good signs or bad signs or anything like that. It's just how I feel the air energy sometimes. It can get us wrapped up in like two in the mind. But this is a time of making practical earth changes from a place of that fire passion and that water intuition. There's not time to sit and circle about it. This is a time of just acting based on intuition and passion. Christine says, I've been wanting to clean out things in my basement, been wanting to clear it out for years. Maybe it's a good time to do it. Yeah, this is like when Mars is in Virgo, you might just feel more amplified, like feel more energized to do that type of stuff. Not to say that like it's a better time than another time, but like that energy is there, right? Margot is ready for transformation. I love it. I know it's not exciting, Christine, to clean out the basement, but it's been bothering me for years. Difficult to let go of my past through things. I've been there before. I have like a memory box where I keep stuff from my early life. And I went through it a few years ago, and it was really cool to just like revisit my past and express some emotions about my past, and then I moved on. It was pretty nice. Helen loves my colorful t-shirt. Yeah, color is rare for me. Susie, I'm absolutely scared, but I'm following to change things. Fear and excitement, in my opinion, are the same feelings. You get to choose how you use it and how you choose to view it. Jackie, Mars is moving from the 12th house to the 1st house. That's going to be awesome. Very transformative time for you. Letting go of a whole bunch of ego, a whole bunch of stories. It's an opportunity to let go of. To then rebirth into a new sense of self. Kirby says, I hit the pause button on the spiritual path. I kind of got to the point of doing steps because it's time to do steps and not because I wanted to. Great awareness. Awesome job knowing yourself and hitting the pause button. You know, it's not always about like trudging through and doing. I'm actually struggling with that whole concept, and I'm glad you brought that up, because this whole discipline thing is what brought me back to my practice. But if you discipline yourself to doing something that you just don't like at all and you're totally obligated to do it, yeah, sometimes you do need to step away in order to find that ambition and that passion again. I love it. So we are going to ask the Native Spirit Oracle cards, this earthy, grounded deck, how can we utilize the Mars in Virgo energy to our highest good? For our highest good. Jackie loves this deck. It felt right. It felt right. So how can we utilize Mars in Virgo in order to serve our highest good? So I always do group readings. Feel free to send your energy into this deck. Perhaps tuning into the Mars energy yourself, tuning into your higher self, asking your highest guides to come and help pull the cards. Thank you, Gina. I appreciate your donation. Nick says, I so get that difficulty doing what you don't want to. I renamed the job. Cleaning became refreshing. Oh, I like that, Nick. Yeah, very cool. So if this is your first time with me, I'm letting you know that I always do group readings, and the whole reading is always for everybody, all right? Sometimes your guides might change something in your physical environment because they want you to pay close attention to one or two of the cards. So I'll show you the backs of the cards after the three come out. You're gonna see the same image 3 times, but sometimes a card might just make you feel a certain type of way. If that's the case, let us know in the chat which card or cards make you feel a certain type of way. If anything changes in your physical body, if you hear something, if you see something, if you smell, taste, feel something, or if something changes in your physical environment, if a picture falls off the wall, or if someone knocks on your door, or if your animals do something when I hold up a certain card. Those are all ways that the universe communicates with you just to get your attention. So without further ado, these cards came out pretty fast today. That was nice. Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Let us know in the chat if any of those cards are calling to you, asking how can we utilize Mars in Virgo for our highest good. Here again is the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. And let's see what you guys are talking about. Hello, Suzanne. Jacqui, 3, 2, 1. I was going to include you in my comment. Oh, Soul Sister. Helen, 1. And I can't remember when I've chosen 1 here. Interesting. Jennifer's been feeling 1 all the time. Kirby, 1. Bonnie, 2. Ren, 3. Melissa, 1. Helen, pictures need to start falling off my walls so why you can go to new homes. Rhonda, 2. Cindy, 1. Chantel, 1 and 3. Suzanne, 2. Felt a shudder. Susie, 3. Shannon, 2. Elisa, 1 and 2. Christine, 1, 3, 2. Lori, 1 and 3. Suzanne, a little shudder with 3. Gina, 1 and 3. Kim, 1. Jean, 2. My scalp tingled both times and my cat came downstairs then. Love it. Nick, 1. Third eye. 2. Throat. 3. Solar plexus. Cool. Yvonne, 1. And Sandy, 1. Let's see. How can we utilize Mars in Virgo for our highest good? Card number 1 points us to the Spirit Keeper of the West. The first word in the description is transformation, letting go of the old, initiation, illumination, harvest. Gather your inner resources. If it doesn't feel right, don't go ahead. Trust your heart. Chaos brings positive change. Almost all change comes out of turmoil. Don't be concerned if there's confusion in your life. It will all work out. In the medicine wheel, the west is the direction that symbolizes the fiery setting sun, autumn, the waning moon, and the time of harvest. The time of tumultuous years of teenagers in the human cycle. Out of the chaos arises illumination and transformation. In order for the new to ignite in your life, it's necessary to let go of the old. Sweep away the debris. The Spirit Keeper of the West reminds us to slow down our rapid growth and harvest what we have attained. In the autumn, leaves are burned to make way for new growth. Release the dross in your life to make way for new growth. Cool. Do I need to say anything else? You gotta let go of what isn't serving you if you want to bring in what is serving you. I like that this card talked a lot about chaos because chaos is what breeds transformation. I know in my personal life, I've been feeling a lot of chaotic energy, and this is just like a settling energy to know that that's all for a purpose. Like life hasn't just thrown everything up in the air to mess with me. It's so that we can alchemize it and settle it back down into what's beautiful to come. Yeah, this feels like, so this is asking like, how do we utilize Mars in Virgo? I feel like this time of Mars in Virgo is for us to refine where we use our energy, how we use our energy. It feels nice in order to bring in stuff in the future. Saying yes to chaos, Margot. It scares me, but transformation is calling. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta open the door. Open the door and let it in. The more you start to confront little fears, the easier it gets to confront bigger fears. It's fun. It's fun. Alchemy is amazing, Helen. Very important. Hello, Lynn. Nice to see you. Fabiana loves it. Susie loves it. Christine's mind is totally blown. Love it. Jackie, focus on the passion and not on the obstacles. Yeah, Jackie. That hit my ego a little bit. Like, I needed to hear that. Card number 2 today brings us to the Sweat Lodge. Wade is learning to dance on the edge of chaos. Oh. Cleanse yourself, body, mind, and soul. Purify. Clear clutter. Let go of objects and relationships that no longer serve you. Purify your body. Go within. Meditate. Talk to the Creator. Give thanks. Sweat lodges are small dome structures covered with skins, blankets, or mud in which very hot stones are placed in the center. Water is poured over the stones so that hot steam arises from the rocks. Thus, the sweat lodge, with its hot steam, is used for purification ceremonies, as well as a place to commune with the divine. This card chose you to tell you that it's time to clear out the clutter in your life. Sometimes clutter can be things in your closet that you don't love or use, but sometimes clutter can be outmoded relationships or habits that no longer serve you. The clearer your inner and outer space becomes, the easier it will be to hear the sweet messages from your soul. Can this reading be any more perfect? Yeah, physically clear out clutter, physically clear your space, and your external environment and your internal environment are exact mirrors of each other. So if you've been feeling cluttered on the inside, try clearing out the outside and see how that feels. And vice versa. If you feel like you can't get a hold on like the tidiness around you, maybe try working on the tidiness up here and see how that goes. Definitely Mars through Virgo is a wonderful time to let go of habits that don't serve you anymore. Service, right? Service, health, daily routine. Those are all themes of Virgo. So health habits, right? Things that like you once liked that you don't like anymore. So what keeps coming to mind, if you guys follow me, I was talking this whole winter about our dry winter. So my husband plows, and in the winter, we just stop drinking alcohol completely because he's always on call and it's just easier for us. And then we set a date for St. Patrick's Day because they do a really cool celebration thing here in our town. So it's like, okay, March, whatever, like we'll start drinking again and, we'll ease into it. We'll see how it goes. And this past winter, for some reason, was like the best, because we've done it multiple times. And this past winter was like the best, like the deepest, like this is great. I don't like drinking anymore. But then habits come back, right? Our friends drink, so then we're around the friends and we're doing it. And now it's to the point where it feels like an obligation. It feels like the weekend comes around and our friends want to go get a beer. So, all right, we'll just do it too. And we're both kind of like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? This doesn't even feel good anymore. So who knows? Maybe Mars and Virgo is our time to sweat that out of our system for now. Very interesting. Helen says, as always, the cards have info for me. Out with the clutter. Yeah, you're moving too, Helen. Love it. Bonnie, I also have been using yin yoga to purge emotions. Yes, you have. Jean, perfect Virgo and South Node energy. Yeah, if we want to, so Mars entering Virgo right now at 0 degrees is sextiling the South Node in Scorpio. So if you want to use that purging South Node energy, purge the shadow side of Scorpio, your secrets, things that you hold taboo, things that you might be like keeping in the shadow because you're not supposed to talk about it in the real world. I feel like that brings a lot of shame onto us because it's not socially acceptable to talk about these things. But we all carry shadows. We all carry secrets with us. There's nothing wrong with your secrets. If you're made to feel like there's something wrong with your shadow based off of other people's opinions, that's just their shadow attacking your shadow. So if that says anything to you, use that. Suzanne, the word hone comes to mind. Was literally cleaning up paperwork and other things this weekend. Love it. Helen, we actually thought about that, buying non-alcoholic beer. I don't know. I'm like an all or nothing person. If we're just not going to drink, that's fine. I'll just go drink iced tea and lemonade. It's not a big deal. It's just the routine. It's just the habit thing, and it's so stupid. Christine, loved that reflection. I recently told a friend who likes to drink that I'll go out with her but not drink alcohol. I don't mind if she does, but I don't want to, except for very special occasions. That's where I'm at. Yeah, Christine loves mocktails. Yep. Purging the shadow stuff. Carmina washed down the inside of my fridge yesterday. Yuck. One of my least favorite tasks, but so nice. Now it's done. Yeah, I hear you. That's always one that I'm like, we're doing a teamwork cleaning. That's not a one-person cleaning. The fridge to me is always a teamwork cleaning. Lynn, last night in my dream, I showered naked with my ex, making a new cord cutting today. I love that. I love that you're using your dreams, you're using what you found, and instead of like shaming yourself for it or beating yourself up, you're like, oh, this is an opportunity to clear something. What can I clear about that? That's awesome, Lynn. Nice job. Jean, I just started a journal where I can write this down. I love it. Love it. Suzanne really needed to hear number 2. Let's see what number 3 has to bring. So asking, how can we utilize Mars in Virgo for our highest good? Card number 3 brings the circle of life. All things are possible. Stand in your center and be open. The 4 winds are bringing your dreams to fruition. Embrace and accept where you are in the great circle of life. Bounty and abundance are flowing to you. If you've had relationship or financial challenges, things are about to change. The circle of life, called the medicine wheel in Native American traditions, symbolizes a cosmology that honors all the circles of life. Those in Western cultures tend to see life as linear. However, those in indigenous cultures see life as a circle. When this card chooses you, it's time to honor and cherish all aspects of the great circle. All parts of the journey have beauty and grace. There's beauty in the rising sun, just as there is in the setting sun. To only revel in the rising sun and demean times of endings depletes your energy. Choose what is, and you become master of the universe, or at least of your own personal universe. I love that, Fabiana. Same card I pulled today, Circle of Life. This made me think of just cycles. There's cycles in everything. And if you choose to only focus on the new beginnings and the fun, exhilarating new beginnings all the time, you're missing out on 3/4 of the rest of life, right? You have the time of growth, you have the time of slowdown, and then you have the time of endings. And it's okay to honor all of those things. And that might help you bring in more blessings also, more new beginnings, by choosing to honor and close out and grieve things that have ended, that are ending. Taking a time to be grateful, give gratitude and appreciation for the lessons that you've learned from the things that have come to an end. Sometimes, instead of saying like, oh, good riddance, that's over, I'm so happy that that's out of my life, like sit down and think, what did you learn from that seemingly nasty time? What lessons did you learn? How much did you grow from being in a place that wasn't necessarily fun the whole time, but it was meaningful? I love it. Yvonne, all the cards completely resonate. I chose one, but think it was to catch my attention. Interesting. Suzanne, such a beautiful message. Also needed to hear number 3. Bonnie says, I don't get feeling social pressure to drink or eat for that matter. I just do what I want without feeling any social pressure. I wonder if I was just born like that. Maybe it's a lesson I learned before. Yeah, I mean, I know not everyone has it. It's not like a pressure either. It's just a habit. It's just, oh, this is Friday night, this is what we're doing. Oh, it's Saturday night, this is what we're doing. And that's, yeah, because over the winter, like, people would drink and we didn't. And it was just like a boundary. We just knew. And now the boundary is blurred and it's just interesting. Fabiana, interesting. What you have said makes me think a lot about what, Fabiana? Helen, exactly. Look at the wisdom for the lessons and let go of what no longer serves us. Yeah, so I'm going to recap this reading real quick, and then we're going to pull a clarification card from another deck. But we asked, how can we utilize Mars in Virgo for our highest good? So this is the next month and a half. This is from today, July 10th, until August 27th. Mars in Virgo really wants us. So the Spirit Keeper of the West was talking about knowing that this is a time of, like, not closure. This is autumn. It's a time of burning away what no longer serves us. So burning away what no longer serves us will help you to sweat away and purify what no longer serves you. And then the circle of life wants you to show some gratitude for it, to understand the purpose of the cycles. Life isn't always about the new shiny thing. Life isn't always about the sunrise. If you appreciate the sunset as much as you appreciate the sunrise, then you're literally giving an extra 100% of gratification and appreciation and gratitude into your life. So I feel like Mars in Virgo is here to help us appreciate the whole cycle, the whole thing, even when it's not what we wanted. Christine gets it. Yeah, it's a habit. Fabiana, I'm only grateful for the ending, not looking for lessons, and also be grateful for the hard times and situations. Yeah, in the moment it's like difficult to be grateful for those hard times, but sometimes if you sit in retrospect and you think about it, I've talked about this a few times on here. What year is it? 2023, so it's been 8 years since I lost my dad, and that was like the hardest thing I've ever done, but also the greatest catalyst that brought me into like my place of wisdom now. I learned so much from processing that whole experience. Going through it, I didn't want to lose him. In the situation that I did, it was a whole thing. There was a whole lot of like resentment. We didn't talk for a year, and then he died. And I had to like sit with that and own the fact that like I shut him out and then he died. And it still sometimes like sucks that, you know, it happened, but I've learned so much about relationships, about gratitude, about appreciation, about setting my boundaries before things get overstepped. It was like a whole thing. And yeah, that I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but in my path, I needed that to get to where I am now. So, Suzanne, there's so much wisdom in this reading. Deep gratitude. Don't leave just yet. We got one more card. Jacqui, the messages from this reading are spot on. Lovely. Lovely. I've been meaning to connect with you, Jacqui, after our session last week. Debbie, why did it have to come on so suddenly? Because that's what was meant to happen. Because that's what I signed in my soul contract before I came here. Because that's how I needed to learn the lesson. Lynn, well said about the sunrise and sunset. Thanks. It wasn't me, it was the card. It was the Native Spirit deck that brought that up, and I just borrowed it. I love it. Thank you, Debbie. Nick says, some of the worst soul-destroying times in my life were the most miraculous. We live going forward, yet the lessons are only known by looking back. We live life going forward, yet the lessons are only known by looking back. Yeah, reflection, retrospect, all that stuff. We got 3 planets in retrograde right now. It's okay to look back and slow down and review what's been going on in your life. This is a good time to do so. Jackie, thank you for your donation. Much appreciated. If you guys have been enjoying today's session, if you would like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, they are always appreciated. Never expected. If you'd like to exchange your energy in other ways, my link tree is in my Insight Timer bio. So you click on my face on the bottom right-hand corner, and all the way to the right, I think it's in my About section, you can find my link tree, and that's where you can find my website. If you want to work with me, I offer single sessions on a donation basis, card readings, energy healing, astrology and stuff. Check that out if you want. You can follow me on all my socials. You can sign up for my email list. I don't do like the whole like timed newsletter thing. I just send out emails when I have something cool to say. Suzanne, I have an autoimmune spinal cord injuries. 3 years ago, I woke up with one leg paralyzed, but slowly regained movement. Can walk well, still have lingering issues. I started a regular meditation and feel grateful for the experience now. That's great, Suzanne. It's all about how you choose to use the energy. You had a choice to rise to the occasion or to turn to victim mode. You chose to rise to the experience, you know? I know that wasn't easy. It's not easy, but like how worth it does it feel now that you chose healing, that you chose yourself, that you chose the dedication and self-care? That's great. Proud of you, Suzanne. Earn it anyway, Jackie. You are a gift. Aw, thanks, Lynn. All right, guys, we're gonna pull one clarification card from the Healing Spirits Oracle. Helen and Jackie are plugging Embody Astrology. It's my Patreon bi-weekly group Zoom meeting astrology group. I love it. Yeah, Suzanne, it sucked for a while, but I don't feel that way anymore because you moved through it. You didn't shove it down. You processed through it. I love it. Lost my job at a toy factory, Debbie. Now I have to take life seriously. Or is this the most free time of your life? Helen, I did the same thing with my motorcycle accident. That's right. Jackie, I think I pulled from this one time, and I can't remember when. This is a newer deck. I got this in June. Yeah, last month. And I think I pulled one card from it one time. But it is Healing Spirits by Gordon Smith. And we're just asking for clarification on the first reading. So feel free to send your energy into this deck. We're just going to ask for one card to wrap up how we can utilize the Mars in Virgo energy. That was fast. This has a pretty short and sweet message, so yeah. How do we utilize Mars in Virgo to our highest and greatest good? This is number 16, which is also a 7. Be like your spirit guide. The world can be full of judgment and jealousy, and it is easy to get dragged into problems that are not your own. Remember that you have a true friend in the spirit world who only wants the best for you and who will guide you away from such negatives if you allow them to do so. When you are between a rock and a hard place, do what your guide would do and lead by example. Your guide is showing you that you can rise above petty things and bring more spiritual action to the situation. You are bigger than this. I love this. Just be like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You guys remember in the 90s, like those WWJD bracelets? What would Jesus do? It's like that. Like, what would my spirit guide do? If you can catch yourself in the moment all the time, asking, like, whenever a choice is presented to you, what would my spirit guide do? What would my higher self do? And then actually choosing to go down that route, things will be so easy. Things will work out all the time. Because things always work out for you. I love it. Love the reminder, much needed. WWMSGD. What would my spirit guide do? What would my higher self do? Mars in Virgo today until August 27th. This whole reading today just feels like accept the cycles of life. Give gratitude to when things are falling away, because those things need to fall away in order to make space for the new things to come. You can't always, like, that's greed. Always wanting the newest and the best and the prettiest and the shiniest, like always wanting, and never letting go, never releasing. We need to release. Mars in Virgo. Virgo is a mutable sign. It's all about shedding, releasing, moving, closing, ending. Yeah, what a beautiful time to release all that no longer serves you. The greed perspective. You can transmute your shadow side, right? Your negative experiences, you can transmute them by recapping what you've learned from them and then using that as fuel to teach and share with others, right? That is transmutation. That's taking something that is seemingly negative, turning it into something that is seemingly positive. I'm sure there's plenty of other ways to do that, but teaching is what I know, so that's what I teach. Teaching is teaching. But that's it. Yeah, let's see how this Mars in Virgo progresses. And I hope that you guys come back to check in throughout that time. Tomorrow, I'll be back here talking about Mercury moving into Leo. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be here again at 8:15 Central Time, talking about Mercury, the planet of thoughts and ideas and communication, moving into Leo, the sign of the heart. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. And that's it for the week. So if you came in late today, you can always hop on my YouTube channel and watch the replays. Just search my name on YouTube and I'll come up. You can search my name pretty much anywhere and find me. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube. I think those are my socials. I don't do Instagram. But yeah, follow me on Insight Timer. Thank you for all the donations that came through. They're very much appreciated. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Sending love to all. Namaste. Relish in the endings.